How about we do some Zio hunting, Jen? Shall we do some
Well,
Zio
yeah,
hunting?
no, you want to get into it. We could get into it.
I think we have to. I think considering that we are on the eve of the Florida primary elections, and yes, we are sending our very best to Oliver Larkin. You know, Oliver Larkin is somebody that Jen and I have known for, geez, I guess it's got to be like 5 or 6 years now. Oliver worked on Nina Turner's campaign back in 21, I believe.
I didn't know
I'm,
that. I
yeah,
didn't know we knew him. I didn't know we already knew him.
yeah. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And so, considering how everything has turned out, he's caught lightning in a bottle. He has the full backing of the DSA. He obviously has done well with fundraising. He's a good guy, and he's got a lot of balls. You know, we saw what happened when he went on Fox News and declared that the president of the United States is a pedophile. And I totally didn't appreciate that. So, of course, they had to kick him off. But as we've pointed out time and again, and Glenn Greenwald, again, you know how we always talk about our conversations come full circle in many ways. When Glenn was on with Tucker, he made a point to talk about the fact that there really is not much daylight between the Democrats and Republicans. When you get right down to it, there's maybe 5 to 10% difference between the two parties. And that's what the corporate media infrastructure highlights. But if you want to talk about somebody, if you want to talk about why it wasn't necessarily a fool's errand, but why it was impossible for Jen to break through against Wasserman Schultz in South Florida, it's because this is where the heaviest concentration of the wealthy Zionist Jews reside. This is where they live. They live in Southeast Florida along the A1A coastline from Boca Raton to Miami Beach. This is where they are. And this is one of those areas that crosses over not just where Jen had run against Wasserman Schultz, but now where Oliver Larkin is running against Jen's favorite Zio pussy, Jared Moskowitz.
Oh, no, you had to say it.
Of course. I mean, he has to be called out for this. So the lady's name in question to start off our Zio hunting is Glenna Milberg. This is a person who works for the NBC affiliate in South Florida. She is, well, I don't have to say anything more. Let's just play the clip.
Israel is committing a genocide in
That's
Gaza.
incorrect. That is factually incorrect.
It has been
That's
regarded by the United Nations and Amnesty International and even Israeli human rights organizations, including B'Tselem. There's
the
a number
definition of genocide in the UN. The UN has said this does not apply to what many people might think as a disproportionate wartime action.
Okay, freeze it right there. The rhinoplasty on this one too. It's like it's like you're showing your whole ass, lady. Jesus.
You see, we don't really care what the UN and Human Rights Watch and all these other groups say. We're the chosen people. We say
I want to know what
say.
I want to know what her beak looked like before she trimmed it off. That's what I want to know.
Alex Scott Mittens has the right idea.
And that look on her face is perfect. This bitch is actually saying something is factually incorrect. First of all, that's not even a normal phrase. Like, that's a completely non-journalistic thing to say, that something is factually incorrect. You could just say that's incorrect.
Yeah.
You could just say that's incorrect. Why would you have to say that's factually incorrect? No, it's incorrect. It is therefore not a fact. But continue, bitch.
That's what that is in many people's minds. Genocide is a very specific thing. Actually, genocide being committed against Jewish people.
I mean, you would think that this can't get worse, but evidently it can. So it's the Jews that are experiencing genocide right now. Jen, I had no idea. I knew we had it wrong. We always did.
But people like her truly believe that there was only ever one genocide in history, and it only happened to the Jews in World War II. That's the only Holocaust. Nothing else. And if you dare compare anything else, they'll put you in your place because you'll just be factually incorrect.
I want you guys to understand something, just so you have an idea. If we were not blacklisted when Jen ran for Congress, if there was an open primary situation where she could have stated her case, we had money, we had support, we did a pretty decent job. This is the person Jen would have had to sit down with for an interview if it was going to be any type of local corporate media. So if you had even suggested some of the things that you've said, this is the type of response that you generally would have gotten. It would have been a
I don't
sandbag
know what this
situation.
woman's background is. I don't know where she's from, where she grew up, where she went to school. I don't know anything about her. But she reeks of disgusting levels of entitlement.
Yes.
That's what I know. Now, what
Not
that's
by
from, I don't know.
It's real. And that's just a fact.
I mean, the United
That's
Nations
just-
recently in Geneva found that the IDF had deliberately targeted women and children. There's been famine conditions imposed over the Gaza Strip by the blockading of aid entering the Strip. There's been indiscriminate bombing of hospitals, of mosques, of churches, of...
Again, I'm going to have to stop you, as that is factually not correct. But I hear you talking about something very important to a lot of people, and certainly who think that way. But as a congressman, and I'm being told we have to wrap, but as
I can appreciate the fact that Oliver has a expression on his face that almost wants to be the expression that Jen is displaying right now. Unfortunately, her screen is frozen again. But the point is, and yes, but no, that's not surprising, because whether it's that local affiliate, whether it is the CBS affiliate that Jim DeFede is the host of, this unfortunately is an example of journalistic malpractice. And it doesn't matter, because in their mind, they can't do anything wrong. This is why when people from afar have said, well, Wasserman Schultz can't be touched, this is a prime example of that. This is an example of why they're able to get away with what they get away with. This is a prime example of the corporate media Zionist infrastructure protecting somebody like, in this case, Jared Mauskowitz. That's essentially, that's what happened here. No, Jen, this is just factually incorrect.
Oh my God. But here she goes, and that's a fact. This.
Colin with the swipe. That was good.
Thank you, Colin. Peter cannot handle not being on the right.
I am definitely to the right, Just
Of me? Well, most people
well,
are.
politically, yes, I am to the right of you politically. That is true. This is, and there will be no reprimand for this. But I'll tell you what, I did appreciate Oliver's smirk, because he really nailed it in a perfect way. But let me assure you,
I'm glad I didn't go on a show. Like if that were me, I would have had the exact same reaction to her if I were right in front of her. I would have just started laughing. If she would have said I would have just seriously started laughing.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Angela. I know her. Her name is Glenna Golden, my sorority sister. That's her. She looks different. She is from Florida, UF Delta. Of course she's from UF. Why UF? Why did they decide that this is where they all want to go? This is where Wasserman Schultz went. All of them. Jen, did you freeze again? Jen froze again. That's great, Steinbauer. Yeah, Savvy's one of our people.
Wait, Savvy gave us a shout out?
Yep.
Awesome. What was it about? Do you know?
If anybody wants to point out, hey.
Yeah, if you guys would let me know. So I will say that the fact that she's went to UF is not surprising. I mean, she works in Florida. She's Florida.
Yeah.
The
Zionists
okay.
love UF.
So the thing, okay, she's a Zionist, but it's interesting. So if she was at UF and she was at DG, that's very interesting if she's Jewish. So I don't know, yeah, because generally the Jewish girls at UF are in one of the Jewish sororities, and DG is definitely not one of those. So that's a very interesting little tidbit of information.
Now, I want to point out that this woman who you're going to see next, who could easily be Glenna's mother, probably, so much of what we talk about when it comes to Zio hunting is all based on class. I want you to look very closely at this lunatic woman.
She interviewed
who-
Angie.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe Angie gave us.
I
a
guess
shout out.
that's where she gave, well, that's probably what she said, that
Yeah.
we connected her. Yeah.
Cool. And so this is a prime example of why we keep reminding you and have to keep reminding you all that the essence of Zionism, the essence of this ideology is all based around class. This is a supremacist ideology of the very wealthy, the very powerful, and here it is on full display.
You guys are terrorists. Terrorist. You guys are terrorists. You guys are fucking disgusting. Another mother. Yeah. We hope you have a beautiful time tonight. How about all the children in Israel? All the hostages your people have taken.
Your people. Your people. Your people. Let me explain. First of all, I don't see exactly who this group is that she's talking to. I mean, I think there's some women with hijabs, but it looks like it might just be a typical protest group.
Mm-hmm.
So, right. So who are their people? Their people are probably the New Yorkers in that neighborhood are their people. I just like the way she said that. It's just like, it speaks volumes, lady.
Oh, it does.
You all.
Boy, that is a flat butt.
And all of DC police is protecting these people. We can't get into the store.
I guess
This is horrific. These people. You need to put your video off of me.
Why is she? But notice how she's walking around recording them, but then tells them they need to take her video.
Well,
off
she's
of her.
chosen. Well, she's chosen. When you're chosen, you can do what
Oh
you
my
want. When
God,
you're not chosen,
lady.
you can't.
Lady, take your little Kate Spade handbag back to Chevy Chase. Seriously, what are you doing?
You are inconveniencing her very private, privileged existence. They don't want to know that there's bad
That's
things
good.
going
Wait, this is good. She's a chosenite.
Now, one of the things that we experienced when Jen was running for Congress is that when we had to go to certain events in Fort Lauderdale, something that started happening a handful of years ago that the very wealthy and connected wanted was they wanted to literally sweep the homeless people off the streets because the wealthy didn't want to see them anymore. So they would have the popo go into the area and just clear them out. That's what they would do. This is the type of woman who, if she's living in Georgetown or Foggy Bottom, or as Jen alluded to, maybe she's living in Chevy Chase if she's in Maryland, or Tyson's Corner if she's in Virginia. This is the type of person who doesn't want to see anything, doesn't want to see any of the decay of society. She can't see it.
Exactly, which is why I think of her as somebody who doesn't live in the city. She's somebody to me that would be like a suburbanite. She's in the city for like her hair appointment or whatever it is. And she's her panties are in a bunch. That's why I was thinking she's coming from the burbs because of her, like how people who live in DC are used to this.
Yeah. No, you're actually making,
you know what I mean? Like, that's why I was thinking, yeah.
You're making a good point. And that's exactly why when it comes to Zionists, the tolerance must be zero. And that brings us to our final Zio hunt. Many of you have seen what happened at this med spa, where the owner got into it with a customer who admitted that she is Israeli or is a supporter of Israel. And this is what went down.
Do a genocide. Get out of my office.
I'm gonna leave, but I will be contacting somebody to get my deposit.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I've not stolen money from you. I made a deposit. I don't support Israel.
Please don't record me. That's really offensive.
No, but actually I also have your video release form too, so.
What does that mean?
That means that you signed a photo video release form.
Okay, I didn't do anything wrong.
No, there's nothing wrong. I kindly asked you to. You just kept saying Israel. You're talking about politics.
I had no idea that you would
when
do
you
this based
say
on my ethnicity.
things like I'm Israeli American, and then I say things like oh, I just
I
don't
didn't say
really
anything
support or
of-
believe in Israel.
But you were doing this based
And then
on
you're
my
defending
ethnicity.
it, which is totally fine. You can defend it as much as you want, but this is my business. This is
That's
my.
fine. That's totally
And I'm not
fine.
gonna
But
do
you
it.
should. But you should give me my deposit back. And if you don't, I'm gonna have to take legal action. And I.
No, you can. You can take legal action. All my clients are really happy. I really like it, but I really don't support. I even have a sticker right here. It says Free Palestine. I'm big Free Palestine. I'm
That's
huge Free Palestine. I'm massive Free Palestine. I would.
okay. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say anything political. I just told you
Actually, the
that I'm from
entire
Israel.
conversation we had was
We were talking
political.
about Afghanistan.
Yeah,
You
but
weren't
that's what I'm
talking about
saying. We're
Israel.
talking about everything that is politics, even aside from Israel. But for me, Israel isn't politics. There's a genocide going on.
If there was, there's not a
And it's-
genocide, but
Where
There it
is this?
is.
Do we know where this is?
Northern Virginia.
Okay, because I was going to say if this, I would forward if this were in Florida, I'd like tell people to go to this woman. That she does she's eyebrow artist. She's the eyebrow tech person. Yes. So I was going to say people should still go to her. I just don't know anybody where that is.
So for anybody who thinks that this Israeli is correct in seeking her deposit back, this is after the services have been rendered. She wants her money back because she doesn't like the way this woman is talking to her, because again, she feels entitled. And when you feel entitled,
I don't know that she had the work done. I don't know that she did. I think that she was, did she have?
or you think that maybe she was in the process of having it done. And then she
Maybe.
stopped.
I'm not entirely sure. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's a non-refundable deposit. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Every woman who books services like that with people like this, with women like this, who clearly are independent practitioners, right? She's not at some like Eurowax or whatever big spa place. She has her own little business. She has Free Palestine hanging behind her. Everybody who goes there knows that the deposit is non-refundable. We all know that.
Correct.
So
And make no mistake, this is exactly the way that Zionists need to be dealt with. Period. We cannot control what's going on in West Asia, but we can control how things operate here in the States. We have to make them beg for mercy.
No, I don't think it's nails, guys. I think it's eyebrows. I think she does eyebrows. And I don't think it's a spa, but it looks like that's a specialty place. Like I know that I went to an eyebrow person and that's what they do is eyebrows. So, but the point is she can work on and not work on whoever the fuck she wants to. And your deposit is non-refundable as per the agreement she signed, just like she also agreed that her picture could be released because she signed that too. See, this woman here, she's no dummy. This ain't her first rodeo with some fucking Karen. That's why she's recording the whole thing. She exactly.
And see, that's exactly, it would be different if you said something like, yes, there is a genocide. I don't support what the Israeli government is doing. Yeah, I would have, slide by, but you don't. You just said there's no genocide. Get out of my office.
I'm going to leave, but I will be contacting somebody to get my deposit.
Go ahead. See ya.
Nice. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's where we get some of this. This is let's give it up for this one.
Yeah.
This lady, good for you. Good for you, lady. I wish we knew the name of her place. I'd promote it.
Yeah.